The rain in Spain stays mainly in the...
Step by step through the sun and rain, over mountains, across the plains. WCBH is on the go. Join us as we walk the Camino.
It's day 10. It is March the 9th. We've left Los Arcos and we are heading to Viana, about 20 kilometres. I think it's 19 kilometres listed, but about the 20 kilometre mark, depending which path and any deviation that we may take. Whilst walking along this morning, we're trying to rank our favourite accommodations and favourite towns so far. It's actually really hard. So easy for everything to start to just sort of blur into one, and then takes a little bit of a prompt. Oh, you remember that place? It had the shared kitchen. Or you remember that place? It had the really good radiator. Remember that place? We didn't have a private bathroom and toilet and shower. Yeah, we need that to sort of prompt ourselves, but it does start to flood back. 10 days in. The Camino's broken into 3 broad stages. The first part is the mind. No, let me get that right. The first part is the body. It's meant to test you physically, and certainly you're trying to get Camino fit, despite the prep that you may have done, walking long distances day in, day out, dealing with the temperature, whatever that may be. For us, it's winter or coming out of winter, and we're from the tropics, and a lot of the hills, etc. After the body, we head into the mind. Apparently there's some very long stretches where the scenery doesn't change a whole lot. I believe that part's called the Meseta. I don't know how close we are to that, but the back end of yesterday and the start of today, it's like you're in a painting and you're just slowly walking along in that painting, the one scenery that doesn't change. So if you can imagine that over the first 9 days, sometimes every corner, but the scenery was constantly changing. There's a hill, there's a gully, there's a river, there's a town, there's a road. But the back end of yesterday for the last couple of hours and the start of today, it's like we are in a field, a farm field, there's a road, and on the horizon you can see the next town, and there's a long, straight, rocky, sandy, flat, relatively flat track, a few undulations that's off in the distance. It's like you're sort of stuck in that picture frame, and you are a character in that frame just sort of slowly walking along. Anyway, that's how it feels this morning. Whether this is an introduction to what the Meseta is like, makes estimating distance a little bit difficult. That town off in the distance, is that 5 kilometres away? Is it 10? Is that where we're going to tonight? Who knows? So body first, then mind, and then spirit. I'm assuming the mind part is that sort of that will, that test. Why am I doing this? It's long. Can I make it? Etc. And then the last part is the spirit, the lessons that the Camino will have taught us by that stage, and coming in towards Santiago. And yeah, so 3 stages. We did well this morning. We're about an hour in front of where we've been the last couple of mornings. We've been struggling to get out by 9 a.m, but this morning we're out by 8, so that gets us an hour in front. So hopefully that means we arrive an hour earlier this afternoon. It's roughly the same distance as yesterday, but we did have some really very steep hills, long hills that we had to battle with early on yesterday. And if we just remain those images in that picture frame, walking towards that dot on the horizon, I reckon we're in for a nice day because the weather, I don't want to say it now because it was blue and clear this morning, but it is a little bit grey now. Fingers crossed anyway. Just passing another church. I expected to see a lot of churches here in Spain, obviously a Catholic country, but the amount of rural churches, some are small and modest, but the amount of rural churches that are really big. Now, the towns mightn't be too far away from each other, but they are significant and beautiful, all made out of stone. Must be a quarry or something nearby. Sort of that yellowy, sandstony type colour stone that's been used for a lot of them. Always at the top of the hill as well. So we've made it out of the picture frame. We made it to a town, I think the name was Sansol, where we had like a late breakfast, early morning tea, kind of a bit of lunch thrown in there as well because they had baguettes, and we thought it might be our only stop for today. There were dogs there as well. Friendly dogs, but they wanted the food. They don't speak Shah, so they were a real humbug. But anyway, I tried to Shah them a few times, and an old Spanish man said, they don't speak English. They speak Spanish. So I don't know what Shah translates to in Spanish. We're making good time today, I feel. Once we got out of the picture frame, which was that long rolling path towards the towns on the edge of the horizon, which was Sansol and then Torres del Rio, something along that, which was actually more beautiful than Sansol. Once we passed those, we've got back into something that we're quite familiar with. Walk up a hill, just to walk down that hill, to walk up the next hill, just to walk down the hill. So we're back on the, what's that machine called? The stepolator, where you're going up and down, up and down, up and down. But we've got about 9 kilometres to go to Viana. We're making good time. We're hoping to be there. Well, I was going to say 1 p.m, but I think that's probably a bit ambitious. If we're there by 2, that probably puts us about 2 hours in front of the last couple of days. So we're here. We've made it from Los Arcos to Viana. This town looks so cool. One of those stone towns on top of a big hill, big church right on top of the hill, but the streets are narrow, all stone buildings connected, lots of cafes and shops and restaurants, etc. Can't wait for siesta to be over and get out there and explore the town and have some nice dinner. But it is siesta at the moment, so I'll get back to watching The Simpsons in Spanish, and hopefully my Spanish improves, although I am confident now in ordering tea and coffee in Spanish.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the...
Step by step through the sun and rain, over mountains, across the plains. WCBH is on the go. Join us as we walk the Camino.